If the people are supposed to be the boss of government, why do so many citizens still feel unheard?
Kayo ang boss ko.
That line was more than a slogan. It was a reminder of how government should see the people. Ang mamamayan, ang tunay na boss ng gobyerno. Pero sa daming ingay, daming impormasyon, balita, at mga katanungan, nalulunod na tayong lahat sa ingay and voices of real people seem to fade away. Kailangan natin ng linaw, hindi dagdag gulo. Kailangan natin ng usapang may saysay. This is Boses, a space for honest conversations, objective analysis, and voices that deserve to be heard. Dito, walang kulay, walang scripted loyalty, walang bayarang pananaw. Ang mahalaga ay katotohanan, respeto, at malasakit sa bawat isa. Because public issues are not abstract. They affect our families, our work, our future. Boses. Ang boss, may boses. Where ordinary voices meet.
Welcome to the first episode of Boses. Ang boss, may boses. Edu,
Yun ang tanong ko. Kanina pa tinatanong.
bakit tayo nandito?
Why?
Anong ginagawa mo dito? Anong ginagawa ko dito?
I don't know, nanahimik na ako sa bahay, wala akong ginagawa, pero bigla ka nagyayason, here we are.
Here we are because ako personally, I believe in free speech.
Correct.
Ikaw?
No, tama. Definitely. At, I believe that at this time of our lives, with all that's happening around us, silence is no longer an option.
And sa sobrang daming issues, ang daming naku-confuse. And I think it's time that we need to explain all of these things, break it down, like dumb it down, explain it more plainly para mas madaming opinion, on madaming perspective ang ma-welcome natin.
Para ma-empower mo ang lahat ng tao to come up with a better understanding of the issues at hand.
Yes.
No, and ako, personal to. Hindi ako naniniwala kasi lahat ng ibibigay sa'yo, kailangan mo nang lulukin eh.
Oo, sinusubo na lang kasi minsan eh. Tapos
Hindi.
tanggap na lang tayo ng tanggap.
Sandali, di ba? Wag muna, hindi ko lulukin yan. Pag-usapan natin to.
Yes. And as Filipinos, we deserve better conversation.
Definitely. Oo, hindi natatago sa lahat ng sigaw, ng mura,
Yes.
na ng mga, sabi nga, yung mga spin masters. It's not important. I think we deserve to have pasasabi nga natin a fruitful discourse.
And decent.
Oh, yung
Right?
decente, yung nirerespeto ko opinion mo. Sana respeto mo
Pwede
yung
kasing
akin.
hindi tayo mag-agree.
Correct.
Kasi hindi naman pwedeng at all times parehas tayo ng perspective about certain things.
Mare. And nangyayari naman talaga
Yes.
yun.
And I would respect your opinion and you would respect my opinion. The same way as we will respect your opinion. And I think this avenue is what we are trying to create right now is for further enlightenment and not to further confuse people.
And also, I think mahalaga that we also explain things, gamitin tayo bilang isang tool to explain things more plainly. Hindi nagtatago sa likod ng mga legales o yung
Mga technical na
mga
bagay.
technical na mga salitain. Dapat yung talagang yung maiintindihan ng lahat.
Sige, tara, subukan natin ngayon. For our first episode, pag-usapan natin yung konsepto na parang bago sa atin, pero actually, matagal na to sa ibang bansa, sa ibang mga nations or countries. Pero, for us, we will talk about Quitam.
No? Kwitam?
Oh,
Ano yung kwitam?
hindi siya apelido.
Hindi, kasi ako, madalas ako sa Binondo.
Alam ko
Chinatown.
yan, alam ko yan.
Yung champuy ko.
Hindi nga champoy ang tawag doon.
Oh.
Yung isang klaseng variety is
Kiamoy.
kiamoy.
O sa Singapore yung kwetiao.
Kwet chow.
Kwetiao, yung parang noodles nung
Oh, kala ko kwek-kwek yan eh.
Iba naman yun.
Iba yun. Oo.
Okay.
Pero we'll talk about whistleblowers and making corruption risky for thieves. Yan ang ating topic ngayon. So,
Well, let me begin by saying, mga boss, napansin mo ba dito sa Pilipinas, parang mas delikado at nakakatakot, pa maging whistleblower o saksi kaysa maging corrupt? Kasi kapag nagsalita ka, career, reputasyon, kaligtasan mo at ng pamilya mo, pwedeng maapektuhan. Samantalang yung mga nasa kapangyarihan, may abogado, may mga delaying tactics, may influence, may makinarya. Kaya maraming may alam dyan, kaso ang pinipili ay manahimik na lang.
And that is the uncomfortable truth. Corruption in this country does not survive because we lack laws. Ang dami-dami nating batas. It survives because the system makes silence safer than disclosure.
Yun ang parteng nakakatakot. Hindi naman kulang tayo sa committee hearings, task force,
Ang
Senate
dami
inquiry,
rin.
o investigasyon. Actually, overloaded na. Pero kapag may whistleblower na lumabas, parang ang instinct agad ay pagdudahan. Tanungin, credible ba to? Saan galing yung mga yan? Anong motibo? Baka naman may inconsistency sa affidavit. Sino ang backer niyan? Ang daming tanong kagad.
Yeah, and that is why maraming tao ang napapaisip doon sa issue ng mag-example lang tayo, yung 18 former Marines. To be clear, nobody is saying automatically, paniwalaan lahat ng claims na to. The issue here is the democratic signal being sent. Because before the allegations were even fully tested under oath, ang nakikita natin or nakikita ng publiko ay public doubt casting, questioning of logic and mathematics. Hindi raw kasya lahat ng pera na yun sa maleta, kaya hindi na credible itong mga 18 Marines na to. Or warnings against dignifying possible disinformation.
With your permission, gusto ko lang ulitin yung isang sinabi mo eh. Hindi lahat ng mga bintang, mga alegasyon, ay dapat talaga paniwalaan kagad. It's because, again, you have to be able on your own to pakinggan ang lahat ng sides and determine eventually
And assess, no?
assess ano yung posisyon mo. At doon pumapasok yung tanong ng ordinaryong tao. Teka lang, hindi ba hearing nga ang ginagamit para i-test yung claims? Hindi naman reward yung hearing para lang sa witnesses na pulidong-pulido mula sa unang araw. Kasi kung plansyado na lahat, bago pa ang investigasyon, di sana wala nang investigasyon.
Yes, correct. Hindi naman pwedeng perfect lahat to. Di wag na nating ang imbestigahan. Ang importante dito, the process itself did not end. Yun ang important. Reports showed that the ex-Marines later returned to the NBI, submitted additional evidence, agreed to one-on-one interviews, and some signed affidavits connected to the investigation. Meaning, the proper institutional response should have been investigate harder, not embarrass first.
Yeah, yun ang lagi nangyayari. Pahiyain mo nang masira at mawala ng
At
resolve.
kakabugin sila,
Oo.
kaya aayaw na, di ba?
Kaya nga, dito nagiging mas malaking issue. 18 Marines ang issue, pero may totoong tanong. What lesson are future whistleblowers learning from this? Kapag ang nakita na tao ay, baka ikaw pa ang masira bago ka pakinggan, natural na ang karamihan ay pipiliin ang manahimik na lang. And silence protects corruption better than any bodyguard.
Exactly. Kasi sa proseso ng mga nangyayari ngayon, importante yung mas malaking reform na halos hindi pag-usapan ito sa Pilipinas. Kaya ang tawag natin dito sa konsepto na gusto nating isulong ay quitam. Simple lang naman tong konsepto na to, di ba?
Yes, simple nga. Mari, yun po is Latin actually, kung tutusin. Ito yung kapag may mamamayan na may ebidensya na ninakawan ang kaban ng bayan, pwede siyang magsampa ng kaso on behalf of the government. At kapag napatunayan at may actual recovery ng pera, may bahagi o parte ng recovered amount ang mapupunta sa whistleblower.
And importantly, no recovery, no reward. Hindi ito chismis system. Hindi ito siraan. Hindi ito trial by publicity. This is structured, lawful, evidence-based enforcement. At may penalties rin for false claims dito. So hindi pwedeng bara-barang accusations lang tayo.
Okay, mga kaibigan, since social media na tayo ngayon, internet accessibility, hanapin nyo po, i-google nyo lang itong quitam. Okay, para ba simple? Halimbawa, may korupsyon na 100 billion pesos. May insider na may totoong ebidensya, dokumento, transaksyon, paper trails. Nag-file siya ng quitam case. naimbestigahan, napatunayan, at eventually naibalik yung 100 million na ninako sa gobyerno. Under a proper quitam framework, doon pa lang papasok yung reward mechanism. Meaning, the whistleblower may receive around 15 to 30% of the recovered money depending on the case and yung contribution ng ebidensya.
Oh, wait lang. Subukan natin mathematics mo. 'Di ba? Sabi mo magaling ka sa math.
Ako pa.
Okay.
Okay.
Sa 100 million na 'yon.
Okay. 15 to 30%.
15 to 30%. Ang 15% ay magkano?
Okay. Ulitin natin, kapag naibalik uli yung ninakaw ng 100 million, 15 to 30% ang sayo. So either between 15 million ang mapupunta sayo or 30 million.
30 million. Wow.
Isipin mo
Parang
yun,
ang
ha?
laki, no? Pero
Pero sandali, dito kasi sa Pilipinas, hindi na 100
hindi na 100 million. Yun nga ang
billion.
sasabihin ko sa'yo. Ngayon, barya na yan sa corruption.
Oo.
Bilyonan
Billion.
ang usapan, di ba?
Correct.
Billion. Abot na nga tayo sa trillion. Pero punta muna tayo sa 1 billion. So, ang 1 billion, kapag naibalik mula sa contractor, kunwari, no?
Ah,
Tapos 15% yung sa akin doon. Magkano yun?
150 million to 300 million.
Wow, ang galing sa math.
Pwede kang makibang bansa, bit-bit mo yung pamilya mo,
kasing
at
yari
pamilya
ka
ng
na.
misis mo,
Oo.
at pwede na kayong magsimula ng isang
Nakatulong ka naman, di ba?
Nakatulong sa marami. Of course. Ngayon, may mga ibang opinion ang sasabing, malaki naman yun. Pero sandali. Without the whistleblower kasi, mga kaibigan, kung wala yung whistleblower, nawala ang 100 million ng gobyerno.
Ng gobyerno ba
Well,
talaga?
okay. Alam
Pero
ko na
I
inisip
think
mo. Yeah.
na ang nawalan dito, tayo eh.
Agree.
Tayo ang taxpayer, tayo ang nawalan. So yung 100 na naibalik, 15 na ni-reward mo, tama lang siguro yun?
Yes. Kaya, zero recovery, zero accountability. At tandaan natin, hindi biro yung risk ng whistleblower. Pwedeng mawalan ng trabaho, pwedeng idemanda, pwedeng balikan, pwedeng masira ang pamilya. So, importante doon kung ano yung ebidensyang pinahahawakan mo. Kaya, yung reward, hindi racket. Ito ay insentibo para tumayo, mapabilang, at maproteksyonan ang katotohanan.
And this is not some random imported concept, di ba, Edu? Hindi naman to iniimbento lang natin. Hindi to bagong idea or thought na, sige, gawin natin to. In fact,
No. In fact, isa sa pinakarespetadong Senior Associate Justice ng Korte Suprema and a constitutional framer, si Adolfo Ascuna himself. Justice Ascuna, siya ang nag-float ng ideya of a writ of quitam concept para sa Pilipinas. Meaning, pati sa legal community, may recognition na citizen-led enforcement mechanisms may be necessary against corruption.
yes. At para sa mga magsasabing idealistic lang ito, hindi na ito theory. Sa United States, under their False Claims Act, iba lang ang tawag, more than $78 billion have been recovered since 1986 because of the quitam cases. And noong fiscal 2024 alone, over $2.9 billion ang na-recover. And more than 2.4 doon came directly from the whistleblower filed cases. Nakapag-record break sila ng 979 quitam lawsuits. So ang dami, di ba? Which proves something important. What's that?
Wow! I mean, yung perang yan, ang laking tulong kung halimbawa sa ating national budget. Ang daming may babalik ng mga serbisyong publiko.
At kung gumagana yon sa ibang bansa at talagang nakaka-recover sila ng ganon kalaking amounts in billions of dollars, it means,
Na gumagana yung
Yeah.
incentive structure, correct?
yes, it works, right?
It works.
It works.
Pero kapag nag-false claim, yun, false claim, naku po, may parusa. That creates discipline inside the framework. So, tanungin natin ng diretso, bakit takot ang sistema sa citizen-led enforcement? Kasi kapag may tunay na quitam framework, hindi na sapat yung koneksyon. Hindi na madaling ibasura yung ebidensya at hindi na libre magnakaw. Corruption becomes high risk. At iyan ang ayaw ng mga sanay gumawa ng kalokohan.
Allergic sila dyan.
Oo.
Sigurado. And if people say American lang yan, tingnan natin sa South Korea, hindi man exact same structure, similar yung principle na ginawa nila. kapag yung whistleblower report leads to actual recovery of public funds, may reward mechanisms din. And in some cases, pwedeng umabot up to 3 billion won. Hindi sila percentage eh. Nandun sila so kung gaano, parang rewards-based din sila. So meaning globally, recognize na tong gantong logic. If the United States or if a government benefits from insider evidence, the whistleblower cannot simply be left exposed afterward.
Well, actually, interested din dito was noon si Senator Ping Lacson himself previously pushed yung whistleblower legislation. May confidentiality protections, anti-retaliation provisions, reward structures tied to, again, recovered funds. Kaya, fair political question naman talaga, anong nagbago?
Yes.
Nung flood control issue, agresibo yung posture, relentless, public shaming. Talagang habol yung, of course, yung big fish.
The big fish.
Pero pagdating natin dito sa 18 Marines issue, para bang mas cautious, mas bilang, mas doubtful, mas restrained. So, of course, palagay lang namin yun.
Palagay lang natin yun. Opinion lang natin. Observation natin yun sa mga nabasa natin, narinig natin na parang dati aggressive tapos medyo nagpe-pedal back na, no? Medyo nabawasan na yung ingay tungkol doon. Hindi na siya pinag-uusapan. And again, this is not about personalities. This is about consistency of anti-corruption standards. Because institutions should not depend on mood, convenience, or narrative alignment. That is why systems matter more than personalities.
And, well, speak of systems, para lalong mapatibay ang mekanismong ito, kailangan natin ng tulong at suporta ng teknolohiya. Aminin po natin, sa lahat ng bahagi ng buhay natin ngayon, may technology involved already. If before isolated lang, para doon sa mga mayayaman lamang, hindi na po. Technology is in everything we do today.
Yes.
Ngayon, gusto ko pong tanungin sana ng ating eksperto, ang ating dalubhasa pagdating sa teknolohiya. And, of course, hindi sapat yung meron kang mga mekanismo. Pero paano masusuportahan halimbawa ng technology ang mga mekanismong ito to make it, madagdagan yung ngipin, mapatibay?
Okay. So, I like the point na in today's world, yung technology really plays a very important role. Kasi dyan, hindi lang napapabilis, natatanggal natin yung mga kamay in between the processes. Pero baka may lakad ka, medyo mahaba-haba ng konti yung gusto kong i-explain how technology would work.
Interesado.
Talaga, wala kang date?
Wala akong
Sure
date.
ka?
Ako pa.
Ikaw, wala kang date.
Wala.
Sige, lagot ka sa akin kung meron. Imagine if procurement records, project releases, bidding histories, variation orders, contractor ownership, and payment schedules were structured into machine-readable public databases. Medyo nosebleed tayo doon. Ibig lang sabihin nun, digitalize lahat ng data na ipapasok sa isang sistema at accessible siya ng public or ng common citizen. Now, with all this big data that we can gather from point A to point B up to the last end of the settlement or money trail, we now connect AI to that system, artificial intelligence. Because artificial intelligence, kaya niya magkaroon ng pattern recognition. Like, biglang spike ng mga kontrata, biglang ang daming project sa isang distrito, pare-pareho ng contractors or magkakaiba man ang pangalan ng contractors, pero pag chinek mo sa SEC, parang iisa ang may-ari or
interlocking mga
kamag-anak,
pangalan.
pinsan, interlocking ang mga shareholders. With that digitalization or pag-involve ng technology rito, makikita natin yung mga link na yon kung same political networks. It can detect suspicious release timing and the procurement behavior na posibleng mag-lead to a scandal or ma-detect kung anumang scandal meron. That changes the role of the whistleblower completely kasi hindi lang tapang niya yung nasa table ngayon. May tool or may aided siya with a
Evidence.
Technology or data coming also from the government system. Kaya lang nakakalungkot. Yun yung kulang sa atin ngayon. Corruption becomes easier to trace because the system itself starts surfacing irregularities. And this is where the discussion becomes very important. Technology alone is not important. Di natin pwedeng sabihin o lagyan lang natin ng technology, wala ng corruption. People still need protection and incentive to come forward. That is why the combination matters. Legal protection, financial incentive, public transparency, and AI or artificial intelligence-assisted accountability systems. If government truly wants to reduce corruption structurally, here are the practical steps. 4 lang to. Okay.
Tuloy mo.
First, pass a Philippine Quitam and Whistleblower Protection Act which with strict penalties for false claims but real protection for legitimate disclosures. Second, require all procurement and disbursement records to be machine-readable. Ulitin ko yon, machine-readable, hindi lang siya mga scanned pages or contracts na halos napaka-imposible i-audit ng ordinaryong tao. Third, deploy AI anomaly detection across procurement, infrastructure, and budget systems to prioritize suspicious patterns in real time. Fourth and last is the establishment of a tamper-evident digital audit trails for approvals, fund releases, and protect modifications so accountability cannot be easily rewritten after the fact.
Na yung last part nung sinabi mo, gusto ko na tanungin. Because you said that, yung sinasabi mong AI kasi, ipapasok lahat ng impormasyon. Halimbawa, yung mga iba-ibang project, kung saan-saan ginamit ang pondo ng gobyerno. And then halimbawa ako whistleblower. Tapos meron akong pinakahawakan na ebidensya na medyo minalverse o inikot-ikot yung pera na hindi naman ginamit sa project. Pag present ko yan, para malaman natin kung totoo o hindi, kailangan may matching data
Records.
or records galing din sa ahensya or sa national government. Halimbawa, yung sinasabi nga nilang evidence or documentation na kailangan ma-match yung sa'yo, kung biglang naibura.
Nagbura ng ahensya.
Ng ahensya o sabihin natin nawala.
Minanipulate.
O halimbawa sinunog. O minanipulate, yes, correct. So ano bang magiging katayuan ngayon ng whistleblower?
Yeah. That's why yung very important yung foundation na sinabi ko na dapat machine readable yung mga data. Every agency na nag-contribute ng data to a particular system should be tamper evident, which I think you were part of some sessions in the Senate when we presented or when Senator Bam Aquino authored the Cadena Bill, di ba? The Cadena Act actually is a very good bill na gusto nating mapasa kasi this will also strengthen yung mga systems and records of the government so that those whistleblowers that would come forward, pwede natin ma-cross-reference or ma-match natin. At walang ibang ahensya na pwedeng mag-manipulate ng mga data na yon para itapat naman dun sa evidence na ibibigay ng isang whistleblower.
No. So at least lahat ng data na ito na sinasabi mo, all of this is accessible by yung ordinaryong mamamayan.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct. And that technology, hindi na imposible yan ngayon. Yung mga idea na sinasabi natin, hindi natin to imagination, hindi natin to kini-create lang. This technology already exists. What has been missing is, palagay mo anong kulang dito sa equation natin. Kasi nandyan na lahat. Mayroon tayong sasabihin natin yung Quitam Act na to and all the guardrails and incentive mechanism.
Well, doon sa mga nakikinabang ngayon sa kasalukuyang sitwasyon, the last thing they would want is for there to be mechanisms na maaring makaistorbo sa kanilang mga ginagawang araw-araw.
Masyadong polite and kind yung iyong
Okay.
statement.
Ang sinasabi ko lang, okay.
Makaistorbo.
Kailangan
Sino pa ang naiistorbo no, sa pangungurap?
Tayo, ang taong bayan. Pero ang importante, para talaga maisulong ang sinasabi natin, ang mga paraan, is we need, correct me if I'm wrong, we need political will.
Yes.
We need someone up there na siyang magsasabi, oy, magandang ideya yan. Taong bayan ang makikinabang ituloy yan.
Yes.
Kahit maraming kumukontra.
Very powerful yung political will na yan. Kasi without that, baliwala ang mga pinagsasabi natin dito. And I think meron tayong kasabihan dyan, di ba?
Alam ko naman, ba't mga ganyan? Kasi alam mo naman, mahilig ako sa mga ganyan eh. Kung gusto, may paraan.
At kung
ayaw,
ayaw,
may dahilan.
Marami.
Di ba?
Hindi na uubusan ang mga taong ayaw sa ganito, ayaw ng katotohanan. Ang dami-dami at unlimited ang dahilan. At the end of the day, corruption survives not only because people steal. It survives because systems are designed to make detection difficult and disclosures dangerous. A modern accountability framework should reverse that. And it should make public money traceable, anomalies visible, and silence less rewarding than honesty. Because if taxpayers like you, ikaw, tayong lahat dito, fund the government, citizens should not be treated as outsiders when trying to protect public funds. They should be part of the accountability system itself.
Lahat yan posible. Posible yan basta may
Political
political will. You know, mga bosses, hindi ito para palitan ng gobyerno.
No.
No. Ito po ay para tulungan ang gobyerno. Nandito kami para ilahad ang mga problema nating kinakaharap.
At mag-recommend ng solusyon. Hindi tayo iingay lang ng iingay. Hindi tayo boboses lang ng boboses. Ang kailangan, ang format natin, kaya natin to ginagawa kasi we want to be heard. The recommendation, the solution that we're thinking, and tinitingnan natin yung viability na itong solution na to, lagyan lang natin, pepper it with some political will, baka pwedeng maging solusyon na pwedeng ikonsidera ng ating government.
Kaya kung ang Congress at Senado ay seryoso sa anti-corruption, hindi sapat ang privileged speech, hearing, bagong committee na naman o bagong task force.
Ang dami ng task force.
Sobra na. Dapat itulak at ipasa ang isang Philippine Quitam and Whistleblower Protection Act, prioritizing a number of things.
Yes. In summary, first, give citizens legal standing to file cases. Second, reward whistleblowers only when money is actually recovered. Again, no reward, no recovered, no reward. Third, impose penalties for false, malicious, or fabricated claims. And last, require technology-enabled evidence systems.
You know, hindi naman ito radikal eh. It's actually long overdue. Dahil kung pera ng bayan ang ninakaw, bayan ang may karapatang maningil.
Tama. Tayo yung nasaktan dito. So, dapat tayo. I agree there, honey. Edu. What is bigger cultural change that we need? Tanungin kita. Ano bang kailangan natin?
Well, we need to make truth-telling more dangerous than stealing.
We need to stop.
Oh,
we need to stop
yeah.
making truth-telling more dangerous than stealing. Kasi ngayon, mas madaling magnakaw kaysa lumabas.
Oo. I mean, that is at the very core of it, ha? Kapag ang nagsasalita ang unang sinisira, mali ang kultura eh. Kapag ang naglalabas ng ebidensya ang unang pinapatahimik, mali ang sistema. Kapag mas takot ang witness kaysa sa magnanakaw, that society po is fundamentally corrupt.
Yeah. The entire society, no?
Oo.
Corrupt na. Wala na. Corrupted.
We need to correct that. Kailangan natin baguhin eh. And we correct it not only by asking people to be brave, but by building laws and systems that make bravery survivable.
I like that. Make bravery survivable. That is exactly the point.
Well, because courage without protection is often a death sentence to someone's livelihood, reputation, or safety. So if we want more people to speak and come out, we must give them a reason to trust the process.
And we must give the corrupt a reason to fear it.
Well, that is the proper balance.
Yeah.
Not mob justice or trial by publicity or imaginary accusation, but evidence, law, protection, recovery, and consequence.
I think yan yung mas tamang and mas mature form of accountability.
Andiyan po ang kailangan ng ating bansa. Hindi lang galit, hindi lang ingay, hindi lang kampihan. We need tools, we need process, we need courage supported by law.
Yeah. So in closing, anong takeaway natin dito para sa mga bosses natin?
Okay, akin to ha. I would like to think yung ating takeaway is simple. Corruption survives when people with knowledge are made afraid to speak. And many times, we cannot blame them. Because the system has taught people that silence is safer.
Yeah. Quitam can help change that. It gives citizens standing, technology gives visibility, and the law gives it force. And for once, the ordinary Filipino with evidence does not have to fight alone.
If public money is stolen, the public should have a way to help recover it. If we are serious about cleaning government, hindi sapat na sabihan ng tao na maging matapang. Kailangan bigyan natin sila ng proteksyon. At gawing mapanganib ang magnakaw kesa magsumbong. This is Boses.
Ang boss, may bosses.
So mga boss, we encourage you to send us your suggested topics, questions about previous episodes, or kung ano, mang opinion nyo tungkol sa pinag-usapan natin dito sa Boses.
We want this to be as interactive as
Yeah,
possible. We
oo.
want you to engage us as the way that we are engaging you right now. So follow us and share our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channels because free speech has no color. Usapang boss lang dahil ang boss may
May boses.
boses.